A lot done in the 2 months, Nick. In fact, I think there's only room for one Khan in the wrestling business, Nick. And it's me, it's Tony Khan.
Man, it's a lot to talk about the locker room with TNA possibly be taking AEW spot as a second promotion. Let's talk more about the locker room.
I'm tired of being humble. I'm tired of letting people think they got a chance. The tribal chief is head and shoulders above everybody.
Hey, guys. We're here at the locker room. Tossing Scandal, a.k.a. KDH here. We're here to talk about AEW is going to lose the Wednesday nights versus TNA. We're talking about TNA New Deal will change it all. Let's get the lights as we come into the locker room. We're going to talk about it. Now, we got here, of course, we're going to soon hear Carlos Silva, which is the TNA president. He did an interview not too long ago with Ariel Helwani talking about how TNA is looking for deals, television deals, and they're working to get something either late 2025 or 2026. Let's see what more of what Carlos Silva had to say here.
At Access and you know, Len and Andy Schoen, who runs Access TV, we want to find a bigger platform.
Okay, so are you actively?
TNA.
I know you have CAA representing.
We got CAA helping us. We're actively in the middle.
Okay.
You know, if I could get a few things done, I'd love to tell you about
Are you close?
Those deals. And we're close. I mean, we've been working on it. We've been working on it since the beginning of the year, really since I joined, and it really has accelerated over the last 60 days. And so we're working through it. But yeah, I'm excited.
How close do you think you are to announcing?
You know, I think we could be in a 60 or 90 day window to get something done. I mean,
amazing.
It's as you know, the media landscape is changing every single day.
Yeah.
And literally week to week, things are changing. I mean, we just saw some other networks that are going to get sold again, you know, this week that are changing hands. So you never know, but it's never done till the I's are dotted, T's are crossed. Sure. But yeah, we're working hard at it.
Would that come into play in 25 or 26?
It would come into play at the end of 25.
Okay. And would it possibly mean live 52 weeks, this new deal?
We've been asked by many partners that they'd like it to be live 52 weeks a year. And so we're talking through how we would do that. Maybe it wouldn't go live in January straight away, 52 weeks, but we would certainly lean into that to try and make it happen. Yeah.
Still Thursdays?
It could be up for grabs.
Okay. Are you married?
You'd have to look at the crowded.
Sure. You don't want to go on Mondays or
You don't want
Fridays.
to go collisions, and you don't want to start playing that game. And
Thursday seems like a good day for you guys.
Yeah, Thursday's worked out well so far. Yeah.
And as far as pay-per-view is concerned, do you still want to stay in the pay-per-view business? Some people are moving away from it, right? So if you do a deal with some network, are you now, like the Peacock deal, for example, where the pay-per-views are now kind of a part of the deal? What do you think? You're smiling, so I don't know. I'm trying to read what the smile is.
I mean, you should be sitting with me in the meetings. Yeah. I mean, of course, those are the questions that get asked every time. How do we take your live Impact shows 52 weeks a year? How do we take your 4 pay-per-views, Slammiversary being one of them? How do we take the 8 PLEs that we do that are currently on TNA Plus? Many of the folks that we're talking to also have platforms, and they have either USA platforms, in some cases worldwide platforms. They obviously want to suck those kinds of assets into their platform, and we're open to it.
So TNA Plus is sort of like your version of WWE Network from back in the day. It's your own streaming platform.
Correct.
Where there'll be exclusive content, exclusive shows. How is that going?
It's going well. I mean, we just announced it. We have over 21,000 subscribers on TNA Plus.
And how much is it?
There's a couple of different tiers
okay.
between $5 and $10 a month, depending on the tiers. And there's a yearly subscription as well. And then there's also a tier that if you get the bigger tier, you get the pay-per-views as part of the package. It's gone well, but, going it alone can still be tough. And, having come from going way back into my AOL days, being in the subscription business is hard, and you have to care and feed, and you do have people buying and leaving, and you've got to work through the marketing dollars to keep it going. So I think all assets are on the table as we look at new partners. And someone actually yesterday asked me the question of, what would happen to TNA Plus if we did this deal and we've got XYZ platform? And the answer is, let's talk about it. Mm-hmm. If it makes sense to move the 21,000 TNA Plus subscribers into a bigger platform, we'd we'd sit and have that conversation.
Now, with Carlos Silva speaking in an interview, he said that they are looking forward to getting a deal. Like I said before, they're shopping TNA all around. But like I said, there was some dirty laundry on that one because TNA in the past year has been coming up. Now, ever since they've been doing this partnership with WWE, we've been seeing more of NXT and even, maybe some other more premier talent from NXT pop up on TNA television, and also TNA talent popping up on NXT television, or maybe even WWE. Look in the past year, we had Joe Hendry, at WrestleMania this year. We had Jordan Grace at Royal Rumble 2 years in a row. But TNA could potentially get a deal with the CW network. Now, we know that's the home of NXT to come on Tuesday nights. We could see them getting a deal there. If not with the CW, don't be surprised if TNA do get a deal with USA Network, which we know has been a home for WWE for many, many years. Now, we know Raw is not on USA Network no more, but SmackDown still with USA now. They just returned to USA last year. But I do see TNA, if they do get a major network deal, they saying that there's a rumor going around they could possibly, more than likely, go to Wednesday night competing against All Elite Wrestling, as we know as AEW, the second promotion and wrestling company. Now, the AEW, the fanboys that rep AEW, they gonna lie and say it's number one. We know it's not. TNA is going to take that number 2 spot. Carlos Silva said it in that interview that TNA Gold, they are trying to go for that number 2 spot as the second professional wrestling company in the world. And I very well see that happen with this deal going on now. They already got stuff going on. So we could see that happen in their future. Do not be surprised. And if you guys don't think that's going to happen, we got to look at the key factors of what's been going on here. We got to pay attention to certain details, what's been going on, especially in the past couple of months. I give you some examples right here. And we see JC Jane, she is the NXT Women's Champion, but now she's holding TNA's championship, the TNA Knockout Championship, holding both belts simultaneously that she won at Slammiversary. Also, another example, Trick Williams is holding the TNA World Championship. This is the first time we've seen NXT contracted superstars hold TNA both men's and women's championships. Now, I'm saying, with that being said, since they have done that, you don't think that there's agreement with TNA and NXT saying, hey, if you let NXT stars hold our championships, if we let them hold your titles, we could work a way to get, meet with our partners, our sponsors, our television brands to get your show broadcast on the network. Because right now, TNA Impact is on Thursday nights, and it is on the TNA Plus app or Access or whatever the case may be. But they're going to step it up a notch, go to a whole nother level. We've seen it. WWE has been doing big things in the past year. We've seen Raw go from USA Network to Netflix. We've seen NXT go from USA Network to the CW. We have seen SmackDown go from Fox and go return to the USA Network. They're going to do that with TNA as well. Now, we know that some people are saying that WWE might as well go ahead and buy TNA. They don't need to. They just purchased AAA. They are partnered up with WWE. I do see TNA getting a deal because they have done such great business with WWE. Not just, now people may think it always bad that NXT is holding TNA titles. That's not the big picture. Big picture is when you see a WWE NXT star holding the TNA belt, that's getting more eyes on the product. When we see that, more people going to tune into the TNA weekly show, TNA Impact. They're going to tune in more to the pay-per-views like Slammiversary, like Genesis, like TNA Bound for Glory, the biggest show of the year. It's like their WrestleMania. With that being said, when we see more eyes on the product, that's going to get more television networks to look at TNA. Hey, we see WWE people on your show. We may want to do business with those people, TNA. If we already got business with WWE or can't get WWE, we can get something with TNA. And with TNA, I'm telling you right now, if they get a television deal with a major network and they go to Wednesday nights It is over for AEW. They already have numbers declining. Now, Tony Khan, for years ago, in the beginning that you guys saw in that clip, he's been running his mouth about Nick Khan, runs his mouth about WWE, especially when NXT 2.0, especially around that time when they was losing to AEW back in 2019. Remember AEW kept making fun of NXT, laughing at it? And I'll give it to AEW. They was defeating NXT 2.0 at the time. But that's not the case anymore. NXT is kicking AEW's ass every single week. It's not even a comparison anymore. So, yeah, I don't see AEW rebounding from that. And now I don't think they can even compete with TNA. WWE NXT is the least of AEW's problems. Now you're going to be going head-to-head with TNA. And once they go head-to-head on Wednesday nights, now TNA may not come out on top in the beginning. It may take some time. But trust me, once they start getting NXT stars on TNA, maybe even main roster stars coming to the TNA brand weekly show, it's going to be over for AEW. They're not going to stand a chance anymore. And this is all a strategy, guys. Now, if you guys have been paying attention for the past, at least majority of this year, WWE has been doing a lot of counter programming with AEW. Anytime AEW announces a pay-per-view, it's always WWE countering. We saw this with All In. You had Saturday Night's Main Event. We see upcoming with Forbidden Door, you have Heat Wave. And now we see this, with All Out. They're going to have an unnamed PLE of Brock Lesnar and John Cena in the main event, going head-to-head with that. We see this over and over again. And WWE, their main goal is to shut AEW down. Unfortunately for the AEW fans, I'm sorry. AEW, I said before and I said again, it's not going to be around much longer. And WWE is going to really put down the coffin in that. They really try to shut that down. That's what they're going to do. And it's going to happen whether you like it or not. It's going down. Because we know that AEW has signed a deal with WBD. They're saying that since the counter program, if it's a success like it's been so far, that WBD is not going to want to renew with AEW, and that's going to cause them to lose their contract deal, and then that may eventually go to WWE. Because WWE was not worried about AEW. They weren't even thinking about AEW. But the more AEW kept getting cocky and arrogant and run their mouth, how they shut down NXT, of how, of all these comments, everything, WWE just moved in silence, said, we're going to take care of you silently, and we're going to strategize and make chess moves, not checker moves, and shut the business down for good. I mean, we got to remember, WWE is the same company that shut down WCW over 20 years ago and bought them out. Now, I'm not saying WWE's going to buy AEW, but they're going to make sure they shut them down for good. WWE wants to be number one and stay number one for a reason, and AEW are nowhere near close. It's just a shame how AEW started off very good. They definitely had their best years are definitely behind them, not in front of them. 2020, 2021 is really great years, and of course 19, but they're nowhere near like that anymore. And TNA, I'll admit, TNA was in a dump, especially right after Dixie Carter and Eric Bischoff, and then now the late Hulk Hogan was they're involved, but they have since rebounded from that. They have got their act together, rebranded, and now they have good television. I know the haters gonna say TNA's garbage and they don't even watch TNA, but it's good. It's actually good TV. They actually have storylines, something AEW don't do. They don't believe in storylines, and they're gonna get it going. But once TNA take that number 2 spot, it's over for AEW. You might as well just close shop. You're not be able to pay your employees as much anymore, as I stated in another video, and that's going to be the end of that. But TNA, they're on a mission to get a good television deal. We still don't know what that television deal is going to be. Now, I know they're saying that they considering Wednesday nights, but let's keep it a buck. They're going to go ahead and be on Wednesday nights. Now, the best thing for AEW to do at this particular point, once you see AEW go head-to-head with TNA, and TNA destroys AEW at some point, they might as well just move to Thursday nights. That's the best move for them. They're going to have to switch nights. Like NXT was Wednesday nights, they moved to Tuesday. That's what AEW is going to have to do. Mark my words. Don't be surprised if they move from Wednesday nights to Thursday nights after their ratings are affected by TNA wrestling. I mean, we see it already. Remember, AEW All In used to be every August, and this year it was in July. So don't be surprised that's going to happen. Other than that, that's all I have for AEW. Is going to lose the Wednesday nights versus TNA. You guys let me know what you think of the whole thing. Click the link below to the next video. Until then, guys, you already know what it is at this point. It's OUT.